Commission hopes these ads will make your mouth water for an apple. Wisconsin Apple Growers President Chuck Cornelli says state growers had a slower than average year last season, and he says some of that is due to an LR residue in the mouths of some apple buyers. He says the apple industry needs a promotion like this.
The ad campaign that's coming out is meant to sell Washington fruit, but I'm hoping that it'll be somewhat a generic effect where it'll promote the healthiness of apples in general.
This is Cornelli's cooler. Right now there should not be any apples left in here, but there are still 2,000 bushels full left that should have been gone by January 1st. Situation is much worse out west, where growers have 45% more apples than they should have. Following the LR controversy, apple sales plummeted at many stores. Kopp's food store in Green Bay now reports that sales have rebounded.
These ad campaigns really create a lot more hype and people will buy a lot more apples. As far as the reasoning behind it with the LR, yeah, I think there is a little taste in people's mouth yet with the LR.
Chuck Cornelli will continue to prune his 12,000 apple trees and hopes they will bear fruit that consumers will be anxious to eat. Jeff Forrest, Action 2 News, Casco. But for pilots and air traffic controllers, the most dangerous part of a windy day like today is an occurrence called wind shear. It's an abrupt change in wind speed or direction that can make landing any size aircraft especially treacherous.
Low-level wind shear advisories are in effect.
The wind shear alert system went off several times today, and that was enough to keep many planes tied securely to the ground.
We have to be especially aware of the wind and its shear effects with respect to stall speeds of an aircraft.
So wind shear could make you theoretically stall your airplane?
That's correct, yes. It could put you into a stall situation, and again, down close to the ground, that's probably the worst thing you could have happen to you.
Despite the gusty winds, all planes landed safely today, but not all had picture-perfect landings. Jeff Forrest, Action 2 News, Austin Strabo Field. May be different, but their values are the same. That was the message of this 7-member delegation from Kurgan, a city of 350,000 located east of the Ural Mountains, 1,300 miles east of Moscow. The group arrived in Washington, D.C. yesterday, and after only a few hours in Appleton, they were impressed.
Very clean streets, yes. Not so crowded as Moscow, for example. Washington, though the capital, not so crowded as Moscow is. Yes, people are very hearty.
Kurgan is Appleton's new sister city. An Appleton delegation visited Kurgan in 1987, and today's visit was a long-awaited dream come true for the sister city program.
This is tremendously exciting. I think all of us are on just a tremendous high over this. When they got off the plane at the airport, it was just absolutely marvelous.
So far, the Soviet visitors say they have been amazed by the beautiful weather here and all the food. They say Americans seem very much like Soviets.
All the values are common for all people. Kindness, love.
The 7-member Kurgan delegation will spend 10 days in the Fox Valley area, learning about everything from arts and entertainment to education and manufacturing. And both sides believe this is just the start of a long-lasting and fruitful friendship. Jeff Forrest, Action 2 News, Appleton. When the doors opened at the Neville Public Museum, dozens of parents and children rushed in. They were looking for just the perfect seat to see two of their favorite movie stars, Godzilla and his son. Think it'd be scary? Yeah? You've seen a few Godzilla movies.
Yeah, I've seen the Godzilla movies before.
Any favorites or any ones that come to mind?
Oh, no, I kind of like them all, I guess.
I like the kind of hokiness of it. Big monsters and little bitty buildings. And
well, these things are real, though.
Well, that's right. Eric always tells me they're real here.
In conjunction with its Dinosaurs Rediscovered exhibit, the Neville is holding a month-long series of Godzilla movies called the Godzilla Festival. In this first part, Godzilla returns from the water to find his baby son. He's a real chip off the old block.
I think it's the same appeal of dinosaurs in general, sort of the mythical monster kind of creature that everybody really loves because it's fantasy, but it still really did exist.
The museum's Godzilla Film Festival is being co-sponsored by a Green Bay video store and a radio station, and it's free to the public. The 4-week-long festival concludes on March 25th with Godzilla's Revenge, starring one of film's most legendary and lovable monsters. Jeff Forrest, Action 2 News, Green Bay.
I'm going to wonder if
Wildlife Sanctuary, heavy snow cover, and snowshoers. There was supposed to be an adults-only snowshoe hike today, but it was canceled due to lack of snow.
We plan all of our events 3 months ahead of time, and back when we were figuring out things for January, February, March, I never would have dreamed that the middle of January would be like this.
Phil Bay thought this might be the safest way to get onto the Bay of Green Bay, and even though he was having fun on his cycle, he says he doesn't like our January weather so far.
It's just a little too warm. Granted, it's going to be warm, it might as well be 80, but in between, nobody can do nothing. No skiing, no fishing, no nothing.
Following the bitter cold December, January has been a construction worker's dream. At this site in Green Bay, it was yet another jacketless day for Joe Sobiek and his crew working on basement forms.
That guy's in with the short sleeve shirts on the other day pouring the floors.
You don't even have a jacket on.
No, it's beautiful. Can't beat it.
Now, if my memory serves me right, the parking lots are supposed to be covered with white snow right now, or at least several slick patches of ice, but puddles of water. Well, December was a month to remember, and I guess we're making up for it in January. Jeff Forrest, Action 2 News, Green Bay. Last year, nearly 5,500 non-residents bought passes to launch their boat in the city of Sturgeon Bay. The city has 6 ramps leading into the canal and is planning on replacing this launch area with a new 6-ramp facility with plenty of parking and a fish cleaning station. Those who launched their boats here like that idea.
Real good move. Anytime you spend money like that there, you're going to attract more tourists, like you say, more tourists, and it's going to help everybody up here then. Everybody's going to benefit by it.
Oh, I got your... DNR Secretary Carol Bazadny joined Sturgeon Bay Mayor Norbert Schottner in an afternoon groundbreaking ceremony. Now, aside from a first-class launch area, the DNR will build a new Sturgeon Bay headquarters on the site to replace its present facility, which it has outgrown. Officials say it's a unique local-state partnership that will enhance area recreation.
Undoubtedly, economics and social aspects of waterfront development are the big factor that we're looking at, and we're looking at increasing the attractiveness of the community for tourism, recreation, as well as for the citizens.
Sturgeon Bay officials say this project has been in the works for 5 years, and they hope it will be just a small part of a waterfront revitalization. This Sawyer Park boat launch project will cost the city of Sturgeon Bay $1.2 million, but almost half of that will come from state and federal funding. The project should be completed by this fall and ready for boaters to enjoy next spring. Jeff Forrest, Action 2 News, Sturgeon Bay.
All those boaters...
The United States flag has been the center of controversy in recent months, but according to an Appleton man, it's still the same old flag. In tonight's Forrest File, Jeff has the story of Jay Wells and his patriotic recording.
I'm your flag, or as I proudly state, the flag of the United States of America.
60-year-old truck driver Jay Wells recorded "I'm the Same Old Flag" back in 1972 while working as an announcer at an Oshkosh radio station.
I sat in the studio and I picked music out from Victory at Sea and read this thing over and over till I got it what I thought was just about right. And I recorded it. I don't know who wrote it, but I recorded it, and I'm kind of proud of it.
Jay lost track of his recording until last year when one of his old listeners called in and said he had taped it off the air. Well, a local American Legion post found out about the recording and told Wells to make 500 cassette copies. More than 100 have already sold for $5 apiece. Jay says the message is simple: respect the flag.
I'm the same old flag, but now I see children running around and shouting as I pass by. They don't seem to know who I am.
There's a spot toward the end where it says, I don't know what's wrong. I'm the same old flag, and I still get tears in my eyes, you know, because, yes, it is the same old flag.
Jay says his love for the flag grows stronger by the year, and he hopes America's school children will be taught the importance of what the flag stands for.
When you see me, stand straight. Place your hand over your heart, and you'll see me waving back.